Hey, all board game rants here where you'll find everything solo, tabletop gaming, and more. Maracaibo. We're going to do a little overview and an unboxing of this game and this card, which came shipped with it. Fascinating. Here we go. As of this recording, I am at 671 subscribers. Thank you all, and thank you for joining me. Let's have a look at this card, because it came outside of the box. And I've read the rules, as always. I've actually watched a video through and a little playthrough, so I've got a good idea of what everything does here, but there's a lot to this game, as you'll find out. But this card, I know, for instance, is, well, it costs 13 money to play it. At the end of the game, it'd give us 2 victory points. You could also use it to, like, this is a good and this is an object, which are good to be able to purchase certain things and do certain things. This, when you buy it, allows us to upgrade our ship, and this would increase our victory point income if we happen to have that synergy token. And return 1 to the general supply. Oh, is that just what that's saying? I don't know. Anyway, so there's a little bit of, I know a lot of the cards are going to have, they're all going to look very similar. Well, let's look closer at this. And the back side of this, wow, that is some Glary McGlarersons. Yeah, there we go. How about that? And let's go up top. We've got a game here in the Caribbean during the 17th century. Various nations in constant struggle for dominance. There is a solo variant, yes, indeedly. Alex Pfister did Great Western Trail. Did, well, let's see here. What's behind me here? We got Mombasa. There's the Great Western Trail. There's some other stuff too, way over yonder. I don't know. Can we see? Do I have it somewhere? Yes, right there. Oh My Goods. That was another one. And which actually is a pretty fantastic little solo variant card game when you have the expansion for it. But I have really been looking forward to this, because the other one too is Blackout Hong Kong, which I was just not a fan of. That came out earlier this year. This one I'm super excited. You can do a little story mode. That reminds me of Oh My Goods, because Oh My Goods, the expansion, had this cool little weird like story mode to it. I'd never seen quite anything like it. But you don't have to implement it. It has some sort of legacy elements that you can reset. And a whole hodgepodge of craziness. I mean, it just looks delicious, for one. I mean, it just looks gorgeous. I'm sure the gameplay is going to be intuitive after you go through it. A lot of symbology. Let's pop the sucker open. Okay, that's much better on the whole glare thing. So I know on this board, we're basically going to be seafarers and adventurers trying to increase our reputation with 3 different nations. And what we can do here is just a whole bunch of things to get victory points. You can do different strategies, upgrading your ship into a mighty vessel, engaging in combat, working as a privateer, building up a network of assistance, setting off on expeditions, fulfilling quests, and much more. And it's going to be played over 4 rounds, and much like Great Western Trail, you're going to be kind of going around, and then around, and then around, and then around, but 4 times. And so it's a little different, sort of like, Great Western Trail was sort of like a fancy Monopoly to me, and it was fine, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Didn't have an official solo variant, but it did come with a very, one of the better unofficial solo variants for GWT, but this one has an official solo variant. So let's see if I can get this off with just one hand. Holy moly, I'm on my game. And we'll just take a quick look around the perimeter. Yep. Sometimes there's fancy things said on the box. Nothing fancy really said on this box. Okay. And 30 minutes per player. So I wonder how true that is. Guess we'll find out later. So let's pop this over, or up, or off. What I'm trying to say. Set it right there, so we're looking all fancy. And let's take a peeksy in here. Okay. Got the bags. And we've got some beautiful looking wooden pieces here. Nice hefty amount. And more. Ooh, yeah. Yep. All good looking wood. And that'll go over there too. We have a blue bag. and some cards. Had to break off there, but I'm back. And so we've got a bunch of cards here. Line these guys up. There's a lot of cards here, and there are much of which not going to. Well, I mean, you can see already. This is, you know, a lot of these are going to have some similarities, but I know that there's. I'll break into these here in a sec. We'll take a closer look. Let's take out this rule book. Just it's got a nice meatiness to it, and I know that there's a good portion for solo in the back part, and that it all seems like much. There's a lot of iconography here, but it's already starting to sink in. I've read through this almost all of it once, because there's a good appendix in the back too that goes over like what. So what do we got here? We can fulfill quests. There's villages we can take actions in. There's exploring we can do. There's kind of like, you'll have a ship you're going to move around the board, and then there's a little villager you're going to move around the bottom of the board. So the ship's going to be, well, the ship's going to be in the water. The villager is going to be, or your worker explorer guy is going to be on land. And so yeah, city actions, and essentially you're going to be moving, then performing a main action, and then drawing cards back up to your hand limit. And that's the nuts and bolts of it. Again, with the city actions, exploring, village actions, fulfilling a quest, assistant actions. Homeward bound, and you're going to get near the end of the round, and there's some stuff to do. There's going to be an interim scoring performed at the end of the first 3 rounds, and then at the end of the 4th round, there's going to be a final scoring. Of course, whoever has the most victory points is going to win the game. And we're going to have some career cards. So you're going to have a career card that you can work on while you're playing. Your ship, you're going to have a whole ship to upgrade, which is going to enhance certain abilities for you as you upgrade. A little bit like GWT, again, where you could remove markers and upgrade your hand size and stuff like that. It's going to have a lot of similarities there. This is sort of the spiritual successor, I've heard people call this, to GWT. So moving on, and I'm glad to. GWT was great. Just didn't have enough for me to really, I mean, I like it, but this is going to have all the sauce that I've been hoping for, or at least I think it will. Card effects, synergy tokens. So these are cool. You get one of these, and it's sort of going to activate a lot of things that you may get in the future or already have, and you'll be able to activate as soon as you get these synergy tokens. Very cool. There's going to be color-coded effects, permanent effects. Blue is assistant actions. Tan is immediate effects. Pink, prestige buildings. Quests to perform. And then the all-important solo variant for this guy, anyway. So you've got, on the back side of the player boards, there's going to be this, excuse me, Automa setup here. It's going to be run by a deck of cards that you can set the difficulty for. Very nice. And it's going over what all of the little symbology means for Gene, who I guess is the Automa opponent. The AI opponent's called Gene. And then game end for that. Here's all the symbol summary. I think this is just for everything, not just for the Automa. This is just for all the different cards. And as you can see, again, there's quite a bit, but it all, I mean, I'm looking at this now, and it's all, I kind of recognize all this stuff and have a general sense of what it does, because there's a lot of it that's repeat stuff. You know, you got money, you got victory points, you got these little combat points or values, and it's telling you can take 3 village actions, 2 village actions, stuff like that. Buying requirements. Okay. A lot good appendix. Career card summaries, and then story card summaries. You can play this in story mode, or you can just kind of play one-offs. Quest and story quest requirements. Yep. Legacy. As you advance the story across the Caribbean, new options open up for you, represented by legacy tiles. Many story cards will instruct you to add legacy tiles to the game. That happens, take the indicated light, blah, blah. The remaining game over multiple games. At the end of the game, you can archive them in the blue bag. Okay, that's what the blue bag. I was thinking this was going to have something to do with legacy. Return in the game at the beginning of the next game. So, okay. Anyway, cool. I recommend only reading the rules for Legacy Tile once it has been added to the game, should you need more explanation. All right, last page. is, I think this, okay, yeah, all the legacy tiles is just telling them, I think it's telling you what they do. We'll go with that. All right, so, 'twas the rule book. Good, big guy. Now, so we got here. All right. We have some player aids, looking like. Yep. Cool. Pretty thin paper material. Nice feel to it, though. Okay. Player aids. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Up there you go. Okay. Some punch board. Of course, got our money. Here we go. Here's the ships. These are looking good. These are... Oh. Okay, it's, well, maybe it's not going to be easy to pop out as I was hoping. But anyway, so here's our ships, and we're going to be putting, these are little areas, all that can be upgraded. Everywhere there's this little gold coin looking thing, you're going to have tokens on that, and as you remove the 2 that are there, you're going to unlock certain abilities. You can keep track of combat points up here. It's going to tell you what you can do with those combat points. And then you're going to be stacking quest tiles down here, I think is where those go. When you do military stuff, tiles are going to go there. Anyway, this is kind of the hub of your player area, this ship. And... Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I thought on the back of all the ships. But apparently not on the back of all the ships or the Automa stuff. Here's the... those tokens I was referring to earlier, synergy tokens, I think they're called. Let's pop that over there. Move on to the next one. Okay, here's all of our, here's these military things, these tokens here that you can represent one of the 3 different nations and fight for them, I guess is the theme. And in doing so, you're going to increase your influence in those, and that, of course, will, depending on where you end up at the end of the game, give you victory points and certain abilities. And, all right, here's a lot of these little guys that are going to go on the board. And more, let's see here, let's flip this over. Very good. I don't know if these are called quest tiles or what, but these are going to go out on the board. You just got to get rid of certain cards that have these objects or goods on them. And it'll allow you to get, you pay that, you get that kind of thing. And then these, I think these blue things mean that they're like legacy stuff. Yeah, L1, L6. Okay. Cool. Pop that over. And some more. Here we are. Yep, more player boards. I believe these are either village or city actions. I forget which one, but you basically pay that. You put your little from your ship. That's how you'll be upgrading a lot of stuff. You'll be taking tokens off of these spots, putting them on here, taking the action, and in that way upgrading your ship. And flipping this over. More monies, more. Okay, there we go. There's the so the back of this one has the Automa, and this board's going to run your AI opponent and give you good information there where Gene is concerned. And okay, I think we are down to the board. And what we got here? Let's first flip this up, get it looking even more official, and making some room. Let's see if we can pop this out. Boop. And yes. Okay. Good. Decent sized board, but not overly humongous. Boy, beautiful looking board. Busy looking board. But it's already looking like, so here's where we're going to start with our little ships, and then we're going to go here, and then you can go up there or down here, and you work your way around, and then you got another crossroads. You can go here or here, and then you work your way, whoop, and then you're here, and then you to the end. And the first 3 rounds are going to score this line, and then at the end you're going to score on the 4th round. You're going to score that line. Game over. Up here is going to represent the nations, and you'll have a little marker there representing how dedicated, how loyal you are to each of the nations there. And you got a victory point track. You've got Down here is where you're going to start with your Explorer, and then you're going to have Explorer is going to have their own track. It'll kind of work on here. As they cross certain lines, they'll get certain goodies, and you're getting money and military points and victory points on the way. And again, you've got some crossroads here to choose from, and then you coming up, and then you work your way around to the final blue fields over here. So you basically gonna have two tracks. This one's going to kind of dictate how fast the game, goes. And this one is just, you'll meander on and see how far you can get, depending on how fast this goes. So that is, oh, you know what? Let's take a quick look at these cards here. And that first deck here that I just opened up, it looks like it's all just story cards. Just awesome. Just a massive amount of, just replayability with something like this, where you can play one-offs, or you can do a little campaign, or sort of a legacy style thing. It looks like there's fun little, stories to be read in there. Very, very awesome. And there they all are. Here's the story cards I was really showing you, a huge stack of that. And then you've got these project cards, just a massive amount. I think both these, just this gargantuan stack of project cards. And then over here you got prestige buildings. These are sort of like game end opportunity cards you can buy. I think there's going to be 4 in every game. You're going to flip over 1 each round. You got your careers you can go for. You go for glory. You go for fighting spirit, power, adventure, honor, blah, blah, blah. And then the all-important AI, the Automa, which is going to be made up of a certain number of cards, and certain type of cards, A, B, C, or D, depending on how difficult you want your experience to be. And then the Lonely Captain here that came within a single envelope in the box. So I'm guessing that, did they forget one? I don't know what that's there for, but I saw another captain in here somewhere, and it was just like a different cost captain. Anyway, I don't know what that's about, but I do know that I think I'm going to wrap it up. That was Maracaibo. The board, beautiful. And massive amounts of cards here to work through. Some good punch board to get working on. And until next time, I'm Board Game Rants. I appreciate you watching. Now and out. You meant the world.